Hello, this is Lara from Create Access. In this video, you will learn about some of the basic landscaping tools and water features in Unreal Editor for Fortnite to be able to create a custom landscape of your own on your Fortnite island. Landscape features such as mountains, terrains, lakes and rivers can make your 3D environment more visually interesting. In this guide, you will learn about multiple tools that'll help you achieve the look you want for your terrain. Let's get started. Create a new UEFN project or open an existing one. The first step is to create a new terrain for your landscape. If your project already has a terrain, instead of being a blank project, you can skip this step. On the top menu bar, click on the Selection Mode drop-down and select Landscape Mode. You will enter the Landscape mode in UEFN. On the left menu, make sure you're in the Manage tab. Click on Create to create a new terrain on your island. The landscape mode within UEFN comes with a variety of tools that allow you to create and change the features of the terrain of your island. All these tools can be found under the Sculpt tab on the left menu. As the name implies, you will be using different types of tools to sculpt the landscape of your island. The first option on this menu is the Sculpt tool, which will help you build on top of the terrain on your island. Hover your mouse over the island. Hold left click and drag your cursor on the surface of your terrain. You should see the landscape changing and growing based on the movement of your mouse. The tools under the Sculpt tab are treated as brushes. On the left menu, you will see a multitude of options to change your brush's settings. Brush size will change how big of an area your cursor affects while using the landscape tools. For example, a larger number will cause a larger area to be built. Tool strength will change how much the landscape changes while using a tool. A smaller number for tool strength may barely cause any changes to your landscape, while a larger number will cause your landscape to grow very quickly. You can explore additional tools within the Sculpting tab to change the softness, shape, and other settings of your brushes. The next tool is the Erase tool. Erase tool will work as the opposite of the Sculpt tool and remove terrain wherever you click and drag on your island. Smooth tool will smooth out the height of your terrain based on the surroundings. This tool can be very useful if you have jagged edges on your terrain and you want to make them softer. Flatten tool will create a flat surface on your terrain wherever the cursor is placed. The size of the brush is important when using this tool. If you'd like to flatten a large part of your terrain that already has a lot of height difference, make sure to use a larger brush size. Ramp tool is one of the few that does not work like a brush. When using this tool, you can create a ramp by clicking 2 points on your terrain. Click somewhere on your island where you want the ramp to start, then click on where you want the ramp to end. Before creating the ramp, you can move these points by clicking on the icons on the viewport and using the Move gizmo. When ready, click on Add Ramp button from the Landscape Mode menu on the left. Erosion tool will shift and remove parts of your terrain as if it has naturally eroded over time. This tool can be useful to create more natural-looking hills and valleys on your terrain. Noise tool will change the height of your terrain randomly as you move your cursor over the island. You can use this tool if you want to give a more random and natural look to your terrain easily. In addition to changing the shape of the terrain, you can use the Paint tab in the Landscape mode to change the type of the terrain and how it looks. Open the Paint tab and make sure you're in Paint mode. Head down to the Layers section at the bottom left. Here, you can select different types of terrain and paint them over your island with your mouse. Click on the layer type you want to try. On your island, click and drag your mouse to paint. You can try different layer types on your terrain. You can use the settings for brush size and strength as before to customize your options. To add trees and other foliage to your island, you can use some of the assets UEFN comes with. Head back to the Selection mode and open the Content drawer. Search for trees, flowers, or any other foliage you want in the search bar and drag the desired assets onto your island. Keep in mind that creating a dense foliage will slowly cause UEFN to lag, so use these assets sparingly as you need. After changing the shape of your terrain, you can add some water features through the Content drawer. Make sure you're in Selection mode. In the content drawer, search for water blueprint. There are multiple water types you can choose, such as lake, ocean, river, and more. Click and drag the water type you want onto your island. Unlike the previous landscaping tools, water features in UEFN are made using splines, a collection of points connected by a single line. You can see the points that make up the spline by the white squares on the water feature. You can change the size or direction of the water feature by moving the spline points. Click on the point you want to move and use the Move gizmo to place it wherever you wish. If you'd like to add a new point to your spline to be able to extend it, click on the spline point and hold Alt while using the Move gizmo. You will see a new spline point added to the water feature, and you can now move it as you wish. You can repeat this step as much as you need to create the shape you want with the water feature. You might have noticed that using water features will automatically change the shape of the terrain under it. A river running through a mountain will flatten the parts of the mountain that the river touches. While this feature can be useful to make your landscape look more natural, you can also turn it off if you do not want the water to affect your landscape. With the water feature selected, head to the Details panel on the right and look for Affects Landscape Settings. By unchecking this box, your water feature will not be able to change the shape of your landscape. UEFN's landscape mode and water features give the creators a multitude of customization options while creating the terrain of their island. Try combining the tools mentioned in this guide in different ways and explore other tools within UEFN's landscape mode to create an interesting environment that you can be proud of. Have fun creating, and thanks for watching.